Hey guys, and welcome to the Titletown podcast. I believe this is the 5th episode, and today we're talking about the NFL playoffs this week, obviously, and potential trades for Deshaun Watson because he recently came out with a list. It's only 3 teams deep, but yeah, we'll get into that if we have time.
And the Lions.
Yeah. So Ben, what was the first game you wanted to talk about?
Well, maybe we could start off with the Bucks-Packers game since that's the game that's going to be first tomorrow.
What'd you say?
The Bucks-Packers game.
All
yeah.
All right.
So they're playing at like 3-something, I think. This is a game that I'm really excited for. I mean, I really want to see the Bucks win because I want them to win the Super Bowl. And because if they do win, then I'd be proving a lot of people wrong. As I've said before, I think they're going to make it to the Super Bowl and lose to the Chiefs. So this is their biggest test. I mean, a lot of people have the Packers making it to the Super Bowl and even winning it, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Bucks are the better team. Brady's the better quarterback, especially in the playoffs, and I think that the Bucks are going to win.
I'm sorry, but I think you're high, Ben. I said it at the beginning of the year. I say it again. The Bucks, whatever their name is, the trash cans. They're not going to beat the Packers. They're not going to beat the Packers. Okay, they're not trash. You know what? I apologize for that.
You should.
They're not going to beat Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones and Preston Smith and Adrian Amos. Okay, he's on the Bears. Never mind. And you get the gist. Alexander, you get the gist. The Packers are the second best team.
The Bucks are better.
And they proved it last week by beating the Rams. And guess what, Ben? The Bucks have to play at Lambeau. And you might say, Brady's good in the cold. It shouldn't affect him. All of his teammates have been in Miami for about 3 years. And when's the last time they made the playoffs?
I don't care. I think you were listing people on the Packers. I can list people on the Bucks who are better.
Okay, but they're not used to that inclement weather. The Packers played in it last week. The Bucks played in an indoor stadium last week. I think that's even worse than just going from a straight game to a, cold game. But they played in an indoor stadium.
I still think that the Bucks are going to win, and I really hope that they do. I'd be so happy if I could prove everyone wrong, and I'd love to see them.
I don't think they're proving everyone wrong. I think that
a lot of people.
I think it's very divided. I think that it's probably 40-60, 40 for the Bucks and 60 for the Packers. Because I think that people know that Brady's a different breed in the playoffs, and Rodgers, hasn't had that much success in the playoffs. But I think that Rodgers is he stepped up his game this year. Before the season started, he said his arm has felt the best it's ever felt. And yeah, I listened to a interview with him on the Pat McAfee show, and he talked about how his how he's been doing some like leg workouts that he hasn't done since he had that leg injury in like 13, 12, whatever. But in other words, he's really at the peak of his physical shape, and I think that he's ready for Sunday.
I'm not questioning Rodgers. He's a great player this year. It's just that, well, if we're talking about the quarterbacks, I'd rather have Brady in the playoffs. Even if Rodgers has had a better season, I still think that Brady's a better player, and especially in the playoffs with all of his experience. And then if you look at the players other than just the quarterbacks, I think the Bucks have a much better supporting cast. And they have a much better defense. They have much better receivers. I just think that they're the better team, and having Tom Brady with all of his experience in the playoffs is just like I think the Bucks are gonna win. We'll see what happens, but
I get what you're saying. Brady's playoff experience is unmatched. And you know what? I would not be shocked if the Bucks won, but for my pick, I'm going Packers in this game. Obviously, if I were old enough, I still wouldn't bet on this because I don't want to bet against Brady in the playoffs. But yeah, that's just my thoughts. I think that Rodgers he's had a better year, so I'm gonna pick him. But honestly, I could be wrong.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Bucks. I guess I could be wrong. I don't think I will be though. It's possible. Like the Packers have played well this year, but I'm kind of confident at least about my pick. Um, the next game though, we got the Chiefs playing the Bills. I mean, I think it could have been interesting if Mahomes wasn't playing, but with him playing, I'd be shocked if the Bills won. I mean, like with that other game that we're talking about, I wouldn't consider picking the Packers, but I wouldn't be like shocked if the Packers won. But like with this game though, I'd honestly be shocked if the Bills beat the Chiefs with Mahomes playing.
I'm gonna have to agree with you there. I think that Patrick Mahomes is the best player to come out of the NFL since Tom Brady. Honestly, I think
Yeah.
talent-wise, we're looking at a player that we've never seen before. And Rodgers and Stafford have made the case that they've been throwing these no-look passes for years and everything, but Mahomes has the strongest arm I've ever seen, especially on the run. If you look at that throw he made in about week 3 or 4 against the Chargers in LA,
Mm-hmm.
he made a throw about 60 yards downfield on the run to Tyreek Hill for a touchdown. And if you look at that, his arm is unmatched. I think that Rodgers has a great arm. Don't get me wrong, and he's been doing it for a while, so he's used to it. But
Mm-hmm.
Mahomes' dad played baseball. Like he has all the tools, Mahomes, and it's just the only factor with him is can he withstand the whole game with his concussion, with his
Yeah.
injured toe.
That is true. Yeah.
Honestly, I think at the end of the day, Josh Allen might have a better game than Mahomes, but I can't
Better game.
cheat in this game. I can't.
Yeah, I mean, you can talk about Mahomes' arm strength, his like no look pass. But I think that it's obvious that he's the best quarterback in the NFL, and I want to apologize because early on in Mahomes' career, when he had his first great season, I don't know why I didn't like him at all, and I just kept saying that he was getting lucky, and I kept saying it throughout the whole season, and even like halfway through the next season, but.
I'm not gonna lie, I forgot about that. I remember you saying that though.
Yeah, but now I like Mahomes and I'm really high on him. I mean, I don't think there's any question that he's the best quarterback in the NFL. And when you have players like Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce to throw it to, that makes it a lot easier. And the Bills definitely had a good season. They have a lot to be proud of, but I don't think there's any chance that they win.
Yeah. So if we're talking quarterbacks in the NFL, like what would your top 3 be? I'll say mine after yours.
Okay, so my top 3 Mahomes would definitely be number 1. Then for number 2, not many people are going to agree with this, and honestly, it could be possible that there could be a little bit of bias here, but I have Tom Brady at number 2, and then Aaron Rodgers at number 3. And this isn't just like in this round; it's in the whole NFL.
Like the whole season, like just in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for mine, I do disagree with you about the Brady thing. I'd say in the playoffs, I'd put Brady at 2, but overall, since Brady's getting to that age, but
Mm-hmm.
and people have been saying that for the last 4 years, and he's written them off. But like still, I'd say Mahomes number 1, Rodgers number 2, and either Josh Allen or Russell Wilson for number 3. I'd probably say Josh Allen though, because Josh Allen's size compared with his arm and his speed, he's elite. He's honestly he and Mahomes are gonna battle for the next 10 years. People were saying Lamar once he had that great season, but if Lamar doesn't do well in the playoffs, I just don't see it happening.
I mean, with Wilson, like at the beginning of the season when he was having like an MVP caliber season, I had him at number 3 ahead of Rodgers, but Josh Allen, I mean, he has had a great season, but in order for me to have him at number 3, it has to be more than just one season. Like I was never that high on him, and I have him at number 9 right now out of every quarterback, and there's basically, maybe this is unfair, but there's basically nothing that he could do that would make him higher than that this season because it's his first season at this level.
Who do you have ahead of Allen if Allen's at 9?
So I said what my top three was. I have Russell Wilson at 4, Lamar Jackson at 5, Drew Brees at 6, Deshaun Watson at 7, and Kyler Murray at 8.
I highly disagree. I think Breeze, I put Watson and Allen ahead of all those players except maybe Wilson. But yeah, so I would probably, my top, whatever, I don't know how many this is, but it'd be Mahomes, Rodgers, I'd say Allen, and then I'd say Wilson, and then I'd say Watson, and that's it. I guess top 5, yeah.
Okay.
That would be my top 5.
Yeah. So maybe we can move on to our next topic now, what should we do first? Possible Watson trades? Maybe that, since we were just talking about him.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, hold on 1 minute. According to, hold on 1 second, sorry. I have an article up right here. So, according to Jonathan Jones of CBS, basically Watson put out a list of what teams, he wants, and the Jets and the Dolphins were atop that list. I think they mentioned the Panthers as well, and maybe even the Bears and Broncos.
Okay.
But according to Watson, he wants Jets or Dolphins.
I mean, honestly, the Jets, that doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I like their hiring of their new coach, but I don't understand why anyone would want to play for the Jets. They have to be at least a little bit good, or at least show that they're heading in the right direction before you'd want to play for them. So I don't really get wanting to play for the Jets. I do get the Dolphins, obviously. Tua would be involved in that trade and he'd go to Houston. I do get wanting to play for that team, and some of the other teams I get too, but I would, if I was in Deshaun Watson's position, the Jets would be one of the last teams that I'd want to play for.
Huh. I can see why he wants to go to the Jets. He's been in Houston his whole career. I definitely would not say Houston's a big market for a athlete. I mean, I'd say it's a medium market, but so we're talking merchandise, we're talking money-wise here. I think that New York is the mecca of the sports world, and I think that Watson wants to be in a very crowded area, so that he gets recognized more for how great of a player he is. And honestly, I think this list is coming out after the Jets are hiring Robert Saleh, and I think Watson would want for the first time in his career, he would want a young coach that's he's Dabo Sweeney's the same way, kind of. They're just very, I don't know what the word is for it. They're hyper, I guess. I don't know.
You think you'd rather play for them than Brian Flores? I mean,
well, Brian Flores is no, but I was talking about. I think that he's concerned. I think that he wants to play for a big market, and I think that New York is a bigger market than Miami.
Isn't it the Giants more than the Jets, though?
It's more than the Jets.
That have the attention.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which team is more prominent, because you're gonna sell tickets to a game in New York regardless. Or I guess the stadium's in New Jersey, but team is based in New York. You get the gist. The big athletes in New York always get a ton of headlines. They get a ton of media presence. So that's what he wants, I think.
Okay, I mean, I understand your argument, but I don't know. Maybe he just would want different stuff than me, but I definitely wouldn't want to play for them, because I'd want to play for a team that I think I could win with, and I'm not confident enough about that with the Jets. But who knows? I mean, if you have Deshaun Watson, then you should be able to build around him and build a good team, because he's one of the best quarterbacks right now, and he's really young, and he's only going to get better.
Yeah.
So, was there anything else you wanted to say about the trade rumors with Watson?
About the trade rumors with Watson, I find it interesting that he wants to play he wants to play for a team, a team in the Patriots division. I kind of find that interesting now that, having Brady gone, and maybe the Patriots are going down the gutter. I guess we never know, but
Yeah. Well,
I wonder what his thought process is, because I thought it would have made sense for him to go to New England and play for Bill Belichick, but the thing is he's played for coaches under Bill Belichick, but I guess he likes the Jets and the Dolphins because their coaches are young, they're starting something new, and it's overall, it's a good morale. I don't think the Patriots' morale is up right now. I think they had a bad year, regardless of how Cam Newton played. I think the whole team takes the blame. And I think that Belichick takes the blame as well. And I think that Belichick is really in the hot seat right now. It doesn't matter.
Well, I don't know if I'd say that.
It doesn't matter about what he's done in the past. It matters about what he's going to do in the future. I'm not saying that Kraft is going to fire Belichick, because we all know that's not going to happen. But, could this be one of Belichick's last years? Is it coming to an end? I don't know.
I mean, I do understand why Watson doesn't want to come to the Patriots. I'd be, thrilled if he did, as the Patriots fan, but I get why someone wouldn't want to come here.
Yeah.
So then also with the Lions today, it's been we now know that Stafford wants to leave Detroit, and Detroit wants to restart with a new quarterback. So I think this means obviously that Stafford's going to be playing for a new team, but it also means that the Lions are going to be getting a new quarterback, because I don't think that Chase Daniel is going to be starting for them next year.
Well, you never know.
I don't think so. So
honestly, you never know, because the Colts started Jacoby Brissett, didn't they?
Well, that's a little bit different. They started Brissett Brissett's better than Daniel by a good amount, and he's also when they started him, they thought that he could have some potential, and then I don't really think that he does, but they probably thought that.
I just thought of this. The Lions might actually go after is Taylor Heineke.
Oh god. No.
Oh god, he's had one good game.
Yeah, one good game, exactly.
But they're not going to sign him to a max. They're going to sign him to a decent deal, but no, I'm not saying outrageous.
And have him be the starter? Well, what if it doesn't work out? Then they have to start Chase Daniel? I think the Lions are going to draft a quarterback. I think they're going to draft Zach Wilson with the seventh pick. I'm pretty sure that's what they have. But
that would make sense, actually.
Yeah, I mean, even before, they don't have well, that's not true. They do have needs, but they don't have these huge needs that are bigger than a quarterback right now. And they're obviously rebuilding. So if you're rebuilding, I think the first thing that you want to do is get a franchise quarterback, and we don't know how good Zach Wilson's going to be since he hasn't played in the NFL, but whether it's him or someone else, there's plenty of good prospects this year, but I think it would make a lot of sense for the Lions to try to draft a quarterback early and hope that he can be the franchise quarterback, and I think Zach Wilson would make the most sense. I mean, it seems like he's ranked third right now out of the quarterback prospects, and Lawrence and Fields are probably going to be gone before then. So I think that could make a lot of sense for the Lions to address the quarterback need.
Okay.
What about Stafford, though? He's going to get traded. Where do you think he could possibly get traded to?
I don't necessarily know if I see Stafford even as a starter.
Really?
I think that he should be. But if you think about how many great quarterbacks are in the NFL right now, what team is he going to start for? Obviously the Jets, the Broncos, maybe, one of those teams.
I mean, I agree with what you said. There are a lot of good quarterbacks in the NFL, but I have, plenty of lists of, rankings for football players and stuff, and I know that I have him in the top 15. So even though there are a lot of good quarterbacks, he's definitely above average, so I'd be really surprised if he wasn't a starter. I don't really know who he'd play for. I don't really have any teams in mind, but I think there's definitely
Yeah.
a lot of teams that maybe he'd even come to the Patriots. I don't know.
People are saying that. I think the Patriots want a young quarterback. I don't think they want a old quarterback anymore. I think that's why they got rid of Brady. But
I mean, I think they want a young quarterback, but they should. Like, I'd rather have us get someone young than Stafford, even though Stafford's good, but you never know.
yeah, honestly, if if I had to guess where Stafford was going to go, I'd say the Bears are a great destination for him.
I was
Because
just
I
thinking
could
that,
see
yeah.
it becoming one of those, rival stories where he joins the rival
Huh.
team, he plays his team later in the year and he beats them. And they have quarterback issues.
Yeah.
Nick Foles is not good. And he's terrible.
You used to love Nick Foles.
In my opinion, yeah. That's true. In my opinion, though, Mitchell Trubisky is a good quarterback, and I think that they should keep him. But if I'm just thinking about what dumb moves the Bears GM has made over the years, I think that they're going to go after Stafford and sign him. I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, it would be a trade, but honestly, I think that would make a lot of sense. Like, the Bears are a decent team right now, and getting a good quarterback could make them a playoff team, and they have other needs too, but I think that could really help them out.
And if you think about how well Matthew Stafford would work with Allen Robinson, that would be really good. Because Allen Robinson has never had a good quarterback in his career.
Yeah, that's true.
He's up top 10 wide receiver numbers.
I couldn't agree anymore. Like, this is weird, but when you just said that, for some reason, I thought that they already played together. That's how good I think their chemistry would be. Like,
yeah.
And then I'm like, wait, no, they didn't. But I think that, like, I couldn't agree anymore with that. Like, I think that would be a great fit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it looks like we're running out of time here. Was there anything else that you wanted to say?
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
I think it's it. I don't think I have anything else to talk about.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be on next week. Thanks.
Yep.